I never imagined that love would one day ask for a piece of my life. He was lying on the hospital bed, weak, silent, and broken. The doctor's words echoed in my ears. They said, "Without a kidney, he won't survive much longer." I looked at him. He was my husband, the man I had dreamed of spending my life with. My heart made the decision in a single moment. I said, "Take my kidney." Everyone was shocked. No one asked if I was afraid. I was afraid, deeply afraid. But the fear of losing him was stronger. I couldn't sleep the night before the surgery. In silence, I prayed to God. I said, "Take my life, but save his." The operating room lights were blinding. My heart was pounding loudly. I closed my eyes and whispered his name. Then everything went dark. When I woke up, my body was shattered with pain. My first question was, "Is he okay?" The nurse smiled and said, "Yes, he survived." In that moment, my pain didn't matter. I smiled through tears. He had taken my kidney. Along with it, I had given my hopes. Days passed slowly. He began to recover. Color returned to his face. I was growing weaker. I had to speak less. I got tired quickly. But I never complained. Seeing him healthy made me happy. I kept thinking, as long as he's fine. A few months later, he was completely healthy. Strong, confident, and full of life. He laughed and went out often. While I stayed quiet at home, his behavior started to change. He spoke less. The love in his eyes was gone. I tried to reassure myself. I thought, maybe he just needs time. One day he said, "I need to talk to you." I felt hopeful. I thought he would thank me. Maybe apologize. Maybe admit he owed me his life. He sat across from me. There was no emotion on his face. He said plainly, "I want a divorce." I thought my ears had betrayed me. I asked again, "What did you say?" He avoided my eyes and said, "I'm not happy in this marriage." My heart stopped. The kidney, the sacrifice, everything flashed before me. I studied his face carefully. He looked completely at peace. There was no regret in his voice. I could have cried. I could have screamed. I could have collapsed to the floor. But I did none of that. A strange calm settled inside me. I laughed. He was shocked. He hadn't expected that reaction. I said, "All right." My voice was steady. I asked no questions. I made no accusations. I packed my belongings. He watched in disbelief. Maybe he wanted tears. But all he got was my silence. I walked toward the door. My heart was heavy, but my dignity was alive. I didn't look back. That day, I didn't just leave my husband. I left my pain behind too. I saved myself. People say I was weak. They don't understand what real strength looks like. I gave that man life. Then I took my life back. Even today, my body aches, but my heart is at peace. I have no regrets. I loved without holding back. The flaw was never in my love. It was in his character. I fulfilled my duty. He revealed his true self. Some nights I wake up suddenly. My body throbs with pain, but my eyes stay dry, because I know I didn't lose myself. I learned that sacrifice doesn't always earn respect, but self-respect always brings peace. He is alive today, living with the life I gave him. And I am free, with my quiet smile. People ask, "Why didn't you cry?" I answer, because I woke up. I'm no longer part of someone else's life. I am my own life. I laughed and walked away, because he wasn't worth my tears. I learned that love can be blind, that dignity should never be. Today I look at myself in the mirror, and I feel proud. I am not broken. I am not shattered. I am strong, because I learned to let go. This story is about love, sacrifice, and self-respect. Not everyone can donate a kidney, and not everyone knows how to leave. I did both, and I survived. Maybe that was my victory. Maybe that was my fate. But it was my choice. That day I chose myself. And that was enough. I left justice to God. And accountability too. He moved on. And so did I. The only difference was this. I wasn't empty-handed. I carried my dignity with me. That laughter wasn't a joke. It was a farewell. A silent triumph. Of a strong woman. Who gave love. But didn't erase herself. Even today I smile. Because I know. I lost everything. But found myself. It wasn't the end. It was a beginning. Of a new life. Without betrayal. Without debt. Without pain. Just with truth. I laughed and left. Because I wasn't weak. I was free. Not every woman can do this. But every woman can learn. To choose herself. I learned. And that is my success. He was part of my story. Not the ending. I am the ending. Strong, silent, alive. And complete. There were tears in my laughter. But no defeat. Leaving wasn't losing. It was survival. I saved myself. That is enough. I gave life. And I claimed my own. I don't look back anymore. Because there is light ahead. This story is true. Because it was born from pain. And ended in strength. I laughed and walked away. And that became my identity. A woman who sacrificed. But never lost herself. I am alive. And that is enough. That is my victory. The story didn't end. It only changed direction. Now I stand at the center. And that matters most. I loved deeply. But protected my dignity. That is true success. That is my answer. That was my laughter. And that was my decision.